I wake up every morning with my hair in 17 directions. My coffee tastes like cardboard, but I drink it anyway. My socks don't match again. One's polka dot, one's plain. But I'm walking out the door like I've got it all together. Maybe I'm not perfect, maybe I'm not perfect, maybe I'm not great. But I'm okay with being okay. Not amazing, not terrible, just somewhere in the middle of this whole thing called living. I'm okay with being okay. Not a hero, not a villain, just a person doing person things. And that's alright with me.
I love that intro.
Yeah. It's groovy. Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to season 3, episode 14 of The Buzz with yours truly, Momma T, and my beautiful, awesome, amazing, talented co-host, Joa Brown. We got a great show for you in store tonight. We are going to do what most people try not to do. We're going to talk about the weather.
Oof.
Because there's so much to talk about here lately. We've had some tornadoes through eastern North Dakota and in western Minnesota, northern Minnesota here. There's been a lot of storm damage. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Bemidji just got hit. I watched it in real time. I watched it come over from the Dakotas. There's a real good YouTube kind of stormcast on there called Max Velocity, and it shows like all the big storms, tornado activity. It shows the potential for the storm threats, and it just came with a big wallop over from the Dakotas. Had a massive tornado that was there. They said it was like having basically a hurricane on land, and that's the one that came over and hit Bemidji and also hit a little bit over where I'm from. And how did you fare out of the deal, Mama?
Not too bad. So my apartment is mostly ground level, and then there's the upstairs. We were over at my friend's house at the garage. You know, Ricky. We were over at the garage, and we had the baby over there. Yeah, we did get a ride back here because I was like, well, we need to. Actually, Margaret and the baby started walking before it started raining, just in case. And then I got a ride back, but the yard didn't. Like, I've got a tree with a lot of dead branches in the backyard. Nothing came off the tree, but my flag was just darn near destroyed. Yeah, it took my flag pole and bent the flag pole to the point where the flag was laying on the ground.
Oh no.
So I had to pull that up, wrapped it up, and then the next day I found out that the holder itself had been bent, I had to snap off the end of the pole and straighten that out and put that back in. But other than that, we didn't have a lot of damage here in
So that,
Mac.
yeah, pretty lucky. We want to let people know, if you can help at all, if you can make your way over to Bemidji, Minnesota. There's a lot of tree cleanup. There's a lot of getting, they're cleaning up trees out of the streets. The streets were just lined with these big, massive, 100, 200-year-old trees that have just got uprooted and thrown around and laying on houses. And so if you can do anything, if you can donate any money, anytime, the Red Cross is set up at the Sanford Center in Bemidji, Minnesota, helping the storm victims out there. We also have a watch right now in the northern area. So we want you to be safe, Mama, and everybody out there that's listening to us. It's real different times, but we know we always have the potential for that up here in northern Minnesota. So stay ready if you can. Help your neighbors.
Yep, absolutely. It's all about community. It's all about taking care of each other. Like, we got to take care of ourselves, make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, and then we can take care of others.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be talking like that anyways after last night's debauchery.
I live vicariously through you. Do you know that?
What's that?
I live vicariously through you.
Oh, all right. I won't quit completely then. I'll only do it once in a while.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of fun,
Oh, what was it? Shell Shock was playing last night. And it's only half a block away. So I'm just like, we should just go over there because we're going to hear it anyways. Might as well just go over there. And, all Bobby's family was there, and it was great being able to go over there and catch up with them, his sisters and his brothers and their families and his daughter. They were all over there. And so we had a really good time. I got to bring Margaret and the baby, and she's sitting here with me. Say hi, Margaret.
Hi.
Hi, Margaret. Hi, baby. Yeah, that's always good when you get to, if anybody out there listening does not know Little Bobby, who the Little Bobby Buzz podcast is named after, was Tanya's old man, Minnesota blues legend, who left us about a year ago, way too soon. And, just a phenomenal artist, Little Bobby Hool, blues legend, Minnesota blues legend. Check him out.
It'll be 1 year exactly next Sunday.
What?
Yeah. No, not next Sunday.
No. No.
29th of next month.
Yes,
I keep thinking it's July this month for some reason.
No. We're getting ahead of ourselves. But yeah.
It feels like it's been a year.
It's been a long time, but yet it doesn't feel like it's been that long. I keep thinking we're going to see him. He's going to say, "Hey, Dwa, you want to jam? Play that one, play another show," but it's just not going to happen. Thank goodness that our brother left us with some real good music to remember him by. And you can catch him on all the streaming platforms. You can catch him on YouTube. He made some really fun videos. Just a phenomenal artist, and Creator bless the memory of Little Bobby.
Oh yeah, and I actually got to be in one of those videos. All you see is my hands, but dealing from the bottom of the deck. So it was basically like a poker game, right? And I'm the dealer and I'm handing him the cards. All you see is my hand. But like during the chorus of the song, he's on the stage playing, and he's getting frustrated with me. He was getting frustrated with me. Do this, do this. And I'm just like, I don't know what you mean. He's like, just sit there and throw the cards up at me. Oh, you want me to throw things at you? I gotcha. I gotcha, babe.
I can do that.
But yeah, during this video, you see all these playing cards flying up in the air at him. One even nails him in the face, and he doesn't even flinch. It's just
such a visionary, and he always loved to do the visuals along with the music and have fun with that. And he promoted everybody to kind of do that and step outside their comfort zone. So those are the things I miss about our brother being here. And we just got to keep it moving on. That's why Mama still does the Buzz podcast here to help keep live music alive and to promote musicians doing their thing. And artists having fun and creating and to get the children involved. And we've had a lot of fun with it. So we're going to keep going, huh, Mama?
We've been doing this about a year and a half now, I think. And for those of you that don't know, Dwa was actually my first guest.
Oh boy, that was fun. That was so much fun. That show was fun.
Yeah, it was. The magical bean juice. The magical bean juice.
Gots to have it. Gots to have it.
That's why she just came back up here again, so that she could bring me some magical bean juice, because she knows I've been
Hey. Well, hey, whatever works. You got to make that comeback after that night at the club, you know?
Oh yeah. And I just wanted to say, give a shout out to the 3 people I know for sure are watching right now. We got Donnie Ryan, either him or his wife or both of them are watching us.
Nice.
We got a really good friend, Pooh Bear, Josh Olson. Hi, Pooh Bear, love you. And Many Kids is watching as well.
Hey, Many Kids. He was with us on, I think it was Father's Day, because I got to say, Happy Father's Day, Many Kids.
Yeah.
And now he's got many grandkids on the way. So.
Yep.
Oh, it's so fun. Thanks for the support, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We got a great show for you tonight. We've got Bronson Lewis. He is a country musician, Fort Worth area. And we're going to hear from Grand Forks Best Source real quick, and we'll bring him on. Stay tuned.
Amazing.
Today's episode is sponsored in part by Grand Forks Best Source. They're a cutting-edge local media broadcasting studio with captivating shows, on-location event coverage, and unparalleled advertising opportunities. Grand Forks Best Source has become a haven for podcasters like me seeking to bring their visions alive. If you're a podcaster looking for studio or platform, or a local business seeking to advertise, go ahead and email Paul at local@gfbestsource.com. You can call him at 701-740-9337, or you can go to their website that's listed on your screen there, gfbestsource.com. Tell them Momma T sent you. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. We have got Bronson Lewis with us tonight. Hi, Bronson.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Awesome. And during the pre-show, I noticed he's got his guitar on his lap. So guess what we get to do tonight? We get to have
I'm surprised you have a musician on the show without a guitar or some kind of instrument to showcase what they're actually doing. So it's flattering.
Yeah, and we try to, but sometimes the musicians, whatever they're using, their phone or their laptop, the sound isn't good enough. It doesn't do them justice. And we'd rather not make them sound like crap and have them go stream the music and hear what it's supposed to sound like, rather than, just in case the sound doesn't come through right,
I've known not to trust technology or anything else because there's so many different variables with it. You're having a bad day, or you had a really good night, before, or whatever the case is. So if you're going to start singing again. But I do let people know that if you do want to see me at my best, it's going to be out there, a live venue where I'm going to be performing at, because I know what I can control. Solo work I do a lot of. We do have lots of band shows coming up, full band stuff. But it's always nice to hear it raw. It's always nice to hear just a musician and their instrument just doing their thing. And I know what I'm able to control being at a live venue that way. So, I've got no problem performing here and then for y'all as well. But just know that those variables are in there, just what Mama said.
Sometimes, the technology, we can't trust it. And there's distortion or whatever it is. But we've got Destiny Ray watching. Hi, Destiny. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
So how did you get into music? How long have you been doing this?
So that was it's been a topic of discussion quite frequently. I haven't been doing this for very long. Going on my 3rd year come next month, full time as of just this year. Pulled the trigger on it and had the support with some family and my wife and just friends along the way to do it full time. So I left the corporate job with AT&T that I had and started writing some songs, more songs that is, and putting them out there. and just been exploring and traveling and going all over the place with the music and seeing where it's going to land me eventually. So I'm just kind of a feather in the wind of sorts with this music thing, just figuring it all out as I go. And I take my whole family with me. I've got 3 children, a dog, a cat. So that travel with
Wow.
us. So they're along for the ride as well. Yeah,
That's a lot to travel with.
it
How old are
is.
your kids?
My oldest will be 16 in August, and then I've got a daughter who's 9, and then the youngest of our boys is 8 years old. So
Wow. Well,
yeah,
at least you're not traveling with infants.
yeah.
That's-
And then a senior citizen dog. The dog will also be 16, or so he's an older hound. Yeah. So
I'm just putting a comment on our live stream here and letting everybody know that if any time they've got a question for you, they can go ahead and ask.
yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead and ask. Okay. Um, I, and see, so sometimes people are just like, oh, okay. There's another podcast that I'm a part of, and um, the host of that show was invited to be a guest on another podcast to co-host another
Mhm.
podcast. So he was sitting there on this podcast, and he is on his phone, and he is trying to share the show with everybody because he couldn't share it until it went live, kind of like our show.
Right.
And this guy on this show just laid into him.
Uh-oh.
Like, get off your phone. What are you doing? We're right here. And laid into him for being on his phone on the oh, sorry. He's like, I was trying to share the show so we could get more viewers, but yeah, I
Yeah.
can put
Yeah.
it down. Like,
Yeah.
and to a certain extent, yeah, I get it, but you
It's all
still need
about perspective sometimes, and what people are seeing or what they believe is to be happening. But yeah, and it's interesting. So we've had it before. My wife used to run a radio show, or had her own show as well, through online radio. And we've always bring it up, as in, like, is there any questions you don't want to be asked? Is there anything that we need to dodge the issue with? And he's an open book with it. We, however, had somebody on the show with him that was pulling up tweets or anything else from like the year 2011. This is like 2008 or 9, all the way back in the day, and bringing up all these comments and just trying to catch him off guard about just things that was being brought up back then with what he was saying. Just trying to, I guess, stoke that fire with them. And of course, afterwards, we just thought, it's like, oh, is that like a friend of yours? And he was like, no, I don't know who this guy is. He actually called in and was just asking questions about his Twitter feed. So, pulled it up. So you never know what kind of enemies you might be making, like while you're going through life, and it's going to come back to you later on. So it was just
wow.
interesting. So, which is why I
Yeah.
stay, it's good to have that passion, but then to stay on like the fence. And of course, with today's age, like everybody's talking about like, what the, like who you're going to vote for, or what side are you on, or of all the politics of everything that goes on, the social aspects. It's good to just remain kind of neutral with it and just let kind of everybody just do their thing anyway. So this way you can't be held liable for what you said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's what we stay away from politics and religion. We don't delve too deep into them on the show here because we're about music. We're not about politics. We're not about religion.
Yeah.
We all know that we all believe something different, and music can bring us all together.
Yeah, and it's so hard to say that for other people who don't understand it, but it's like you look at somebody like us or like you or me especially, and it's like all I care about is music. That's what I do. It's all I talk about. That's all I ever want to think about. And so they don't understand. It's like, well, I don't really want to get involved with that because frankly, I don't really know about it either way. But if you start talking to me about certain microphones they use in the studio, I was like, okay, yeah, let's have a conversation about it. Yeah, we'll do that. So, but
Exactly. We've got we're also joined by Laura Williams. She says hello to Bronson Lewis Music. And then Destiny is chiming in on our conversation. Not to avoid things, just to be kind. We need kindness, and music brings us all together. Yes, Destiny, absolutely.
yeah,
We
it
all
just
agree
comes,
with that. And and there's nothing wrong with having a passion or believing strongly about anything else. But this isn't that platform. We do our other thing. We got our other things going on. I know Dua's got all kinds of other things going on, and we can bring them up, touch base with them. Hey, if you want to talk about this, we go over here, or we want to talk about this, we go over there. But yeah, music is
I mean, I think there's like obligations too to people that end up getting to be out there because it's a privilege to get to be on a stage. So anytime you have that kind of privilege, I think there's obligations that go along with it too. So I've always been kind of a social justice person myself. And there's been a lot of musicians, singer-songwriters that have, over the course of time through music, have used their music to promote social justices or bring light to social injustices. Are you a songwriter, Bronson? And tell me what gives you your inspiration.
It's just everyday life, and we're all going through it together. And so I relate a little bit more with the fact that, so I turned 37 just this year. I've got, again, my wife, my family, and just these obligations of being a father and, like just good husband. So my demographic are people in that same kind of aspect. I'm not, you won't see me playing a bunch of drinking songs when I'm out places, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, I just don't write songs about anything like that.
Right.
So, but that's where I get my inspiration from, is just from just everyday life, just being around the kids or how I'm feeling, just going through these struggles that, that a parent or that, a sibling or that a spouse would go through just every day. So, but that's how I feel.
We do have to cut to a quick commercial. We're going to hear from Grand Forks Best Source, and we're going to do another commercial that it's
we get to hear the sexy Momma T on that one, right? I love this commercial.
I feel like there's a really, really uncomfortable lay down for this, or like a running up for this.
No. Don't let fool you.
I'm really actually looking forward to the commercial now. I'm looking forward to it. So.
We do the shorter version first, just to get people a little bit used to it.
Okay.
But when we do the last one, it's a full minute long, and
I love
we're gonna let you watch the commercials, and when we come back, we're gonna check out some tornado chasers.
Woo!
Okay.
When it comes to podcasts and social media, stick with the best. Grand Forks Best Source. Keep up to date with local happenings and news, interviews with city leaders, athletes, nonprofits, and of course, lots of feel-good stories. Grand Forks Best Source is a great way to advertise your business or events with the most economical ad packages available. And contact us to find out how you can have your own podcast with the best studio in the area. Check out Grand Forks Best Source on your favorite social media app. Grand Forks Best Source, the Forks' best local podcast. Call 701-213-0863 or online at gfbestsource.com. We love the Forks. Grand Forks Best Source, giving the Forks their identity again.
This is your concert buzz.
Log Jammers is welcoming the 2025 Summer Throwback Party featuring Twista in concert Saturday, July 5th at 6 p.m. with special guest DJ Shine. Tickets are $40 in advance, $100 for a VIP meet and greet. This 21 plus show is presented by Hypothermic Entertainment. Visit Log Jammers on Facebook to get your tickets now. Twista, Saturday, July 5th at 6 p.m. at Log Jammers Bar and Grill, Cass Lake, Minnesota. Yeah, there's that.
So apparently they're on the cut across over by the Pembina Trail. This is Reed Timmer. He's like world famous storm chaser.
Oh yeah, I saw somebody on my feed.
He was
at him.
He was at the Jamestown tornado.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a good thing, but yeah, he's in the neighborhood. He's following the storm over by Euclid.
Oh, cool.
In case you're into that sort of thing.
Oh,
I'm into that sort of thing. I've been watching it the last couple days, and yeah,
girl.
hoping everybody stays safe.
Oh,
Okay.
that was hot. Good girl. She brought me a big mug, the big one.
It's a big mug day.
That
For
were
big-
your bean juice you're talking about.
Magic bean juice. Yep.
Oh.
And it's funny because every once in a while I just have my Momma T mug. I've got this. My family got me a coffee cup, and it says "The Buzz with Momma T" on it,
Mm.
and it's not spelled the same way as it is on the show, but we were joking that we should have an after hours show, and we could play guess what's in Mama's mug. Guess what's in Mama's mug?
But speaking of after, so the hype for that commercial was that what was that your voice on that commercial?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
there you go. There. That's what Momma T sounds like after hours. Probably.
Yes, yes. That was recorded after hours.
So
Uh,
so the hype definitely didn't let it down, but so, yeah, great work
just,
with that. Great work with that.
just wait until we get to the second one. It's even longer. Stars out Mama to use her sexy voice.
Okay.
Jeremy, you're killing me so much.
My goodness. So it's funny. My wife had done a commercial. She'd done several commercials for Sam's Club. The what is it? The Waltons. That the Walmart's, Sam's Clubs. And so she did
Yeah.
commercials for Sam's Club, the voiceovers for radio, and it's the same way, like her voice in there and everything else. It just cracks me up. I'm like, you never talk like that. Like whenever like radio. It's like, what? It's like, what do you mean like?
You never talk that way to me.
Oh my goodness.
A beautiful lady, but people said that like she had a voice
Excited.
for radio. It's like, but it's like, well, she has the face for TV. It's like you shouldn't have to have just the radio stuff either. But it's like, yeah,
Radio, yeah, that's
Oh,
what
that's
my
funny because we joke with
parents
my
said
other
about me.
co-host. Yeah, I joke with my other co-host. We give him a lot of crap on the other show, Renegade Radio. We give him a lot of crap on the show and tell him all the time he's got a face for radio.
oh, there you go.
Hi, Ricky. How you doing? A good friend of mine is watching. That's the garage we were at the other night. When the storm came. We still got many kids. Laura Williams before the break said that's how songs from decades ago was about family, lessons, and life in general. Absolutely. Yeah.
Pretty much. I think it's kind of what like all songs are kind of about sometimes, but
If there's-
I
if-
I hate to fall into that general, like that bracket, that little box of everything.
Right.
But I do like to make it pretty generalized and vague, any case. But yeah, exactly. It's what it's all about. We're all going through it again. So what other better way to relate than writing songs that everybody is related? It's relate on. But
yeah. If somebody like is listening to your music and it's relatable, they can apply it to their own lives. They're
Right.
gonna listen.
Right.
For sure.
When you were growing up,
Oh, go ahead, dear.
Was that?
when you were growing up, what kind of music did you listen to? How did you get inspired to get into music in the first place?
So you mentioned country. I was gonna like put the little insertion there. I'm not a full on country artist. A lot of the music that I have out has gone that direction because so many producers out here just know country in that area, and so it was my first time through and just kind of figuring it all out. I'm transitioning to this Americana, almost like this rock sound. But growing up, I listened to great artists, and I modeled my. So I was getting Gordon Lightfoot a lot last night when I played a gig. That was my vocals, but somebody that I strived to sound like since I was ever heard him. Just playing the records and just listening to him in general. Anywhere you go, was Don Henley from the Eagles. I was a huge fan of Don Henley from the Eagles, the band. I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan. Grew up in the '90s, so I was listening to Dave Matthews. And other acts like Counting Crows and like the Goo Goo Dolls growing up. So if you were to put my music into a category of everything, it would be like a more southern like Goo Goo Dolls, like kind of is what my sound is what I'm trying to get after eventually. But of course, it's been fun, and I started listening to country whenever obviously started getting into that. It was like the Kenny Chesney era during the time. But for the most part, country has had that influence of that Southern sound. But I do like the rock roots, that Americana sound from picture like people like Neil Young or even Jackson Brown. It's like that kind of stuff that was going on. That West Coast steel ride sound rather than the Southern drawl from like George Jones or anything.
Yeah. Like if you played it backwards, you get your house back and your girlfriend back and your dog back and your truck
Right.
back, your fishing pole back.
Right. Exactly. Everything's all going to come back to you. It's
Yeah.
and it all starts by cracking open a beer, right?
Oh, yeah.
By cracking open a beer sitting on the tailgate somewhere.
Yeah. And Laura says your newest song, "Roads Traveled," hits so close to home for her husband and her family. So
Yeah,
you got fans watching here.
it's so context. Laura Williams, that's mom-in-law. I used to work with her husband, my father-in-law, for several years with a railroad company. And so it had us out of town constantly, where you'd always have your clothes packed, just ready to go at a moment's notice. You'd come home, spend maybe 15, 20 some hours, and then get called right back out again and start working again. So that's what that song was about during that time whenever I worked with Whole Insurance Services, and the strain it put on my relationship, with their daughter. And we had a young son at the time. My oldest son was the only one that we had for a little while, and I missed a lot of years and missed a lot of milestones and missed out a lot on this emotional growth and this communication that needed to happen with such a young family. And being young growing up, it was just took a huge hard toll on all of us, really. So yeah, it's funny. The day she told me she was pregnant with our daughter was the day I got fired from the job. So, serendipitous about it. It's just, I had time to spend with my other two kids and started making up for lost time with our oldest son.
So she had good news and you had the bad news.
Yeah. Well, in hindsight, it was kind of good news, I guess, too, when I look at it now. But at first, it was obviously bad news. I didn't know where the paychecks were going to come. So, but it pushed me into a different direction. And I think everything that you get handed to you, you got to take it as, kind of say like a sign. It's just a sign that maybe you just need to switch direction, or maybe it's just not your place, or maybe that you work on something differently. And so that's what I take with all that out of that experience. That is.
So. And see, we all have these bumps in the road, and sometimes it's a little confusing. Okay, is this a bump in the road to help me grow and learn how to get over the bump, or is this a roadblock that I'm supposed to go a different direction?
Right.
Yeah. And Laura says, "Remember Christmas?" And that was the best thing that could have happened as you look back. Yep.
Right.
Your last day there. Yep.
Right on.
Right on. You had something to say and I interrupted you.
Oh.
Yes, it's hard. I got a little bit of delay here. So if I ever hear dead air, I'm trying to chime in too. So no worries on that. But I had a question about songwriting. I'm a singer-songwriter, been on the road for over 20 years playing music myself. And some of the folks that you spoke about that have been an inspiration to you have also been an inspiration to me. So that's interesting to hear. But I'm interested in hearing about your process of songwriting because I'm also a songwriter.
Right.
And how does that come about for you?
Yeah, there's two different types of songwriters. The ones that are I found out, or what I'm still figuring out, that is for me. The ones that are very lyric forward, and they're writing constantly. They're able to figure out words on paper, and they have it all just laid out, this blueprint. Or there's the songwriters that what comes first is the music. Like they're working on these harmonies, working on these melodies on the guitar, or whatever the case is. They hear all this different instrumentation, and then they start putting the words into it, fitting it in there. I'm one of those. I'm one of those that just comes to the music constantly over the the lyrics for me. Actually, I have one song that I've written the lyrics for. It's so weird how that happened. I've written the lyrics before actually having music, and I'm kind of having a difficult time trying to get music right to it right now. So that was my downfall of that. But that's how it works for me. I'm usually just a picker. I like just hanging out, playing guitar. find something that I like, and it's like, okay, well, I can work with this, putting the words around it, or just over time, you're just working on it. So I'm so well, you play an instrument, don't you? Oh, see, there's the dead air right there. That's
I
what
got
she
a
was
little
saying.
bit of mute. I put mute on just in
Oh,
case my puppies start getting involved.
no worries.
I've got a house full of
Time to
puppies.
show once in a while.
But
So like,
I played a little bit of guitar, a little bit of keys, but mostly
yeah.
was a singer. So I'd sing with bands and
Okay.
create with either piano or guitar,
So whenever you're playing and you're just doing your thing, you're probably humming something or trying to figure it all out. That's exactly how it is for me as well. Just playing something, strumming along, and I know that I'm liking it. And then you're feeling a certain vibe anyway with the music, and so you start writing around it or start singing around what vibe am I going to feel under that. And that's how it works for me, at least. So. And honestly, I've been running into some other artists that are saying the same thing. So I'm not the odd man out, at least. And there's these songwriter circles, there's these workshops that I see these musicians go to, and they go together and they work on these collaborations and they can do co-writes. I haven't dove into that just yet, but I'll be interested to see how many different types of songwriters there are out there. Maybe there is people who are just like, hey, I've got this really good tag, I got this really good chorus, I just need something else around all this. Or maybe you got somebody, it's like, hey, I've got this really good sound, this music, I need some just lyrics to fit into that. So it'd be kind of cool to put those little pieces together one of these days and figure that out. But for the most part, it's just me. It's still a little work for me. And I've been, thankful enough to land on some, like good ones at least. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. I got a second part to this.
Okay.
So I know you do your own stuff, but what is your favorite covers to play?
I've been telling people, like, I'm just gonna dye my hair red and my beard red and start doing a like a Tyler Childers tribute band out here, because apparently that it's I don't know how it is up north, but out here tributes are kind of taking over a lot of the scene, and it's kind of funny how that works. But people are willing to pay money to go see and I sound like I'm hating, but you're paying good money to go see somebody pretend to be somebody else, but rather than watch a songwriter who's putting the sweat and the tears in, paying nothing to go see them at a live show. But if I was to go and play a whole bunch of covers, if I was to do it and really enjoy playing all those covers, that's probably what I'd go do, is do a Tyler Childers tribute band with that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
So you're dead on for
Tyler.
his name Tyler Childers.
Yeah, he's out of the Appalachian area, so he does really cool. It's kind of bluegrassy with his sound, but it's very Americana as well. So started listening to him several years ago, and I've really been getting into. She's been making huge waves, and I said it 3 or 4 years ago as well. Was Sierra Farrell was doing some really cool stuff, and now of course she's winning Grammys everywhere. Really capitalized and found her sound with all that, and so yeah, more power to her. So, but that Smoky Mountains, that moonshine sound is really working right now, and
Nice.
so yeah, it's really cool. So I don't have that twang in my voice, but
we had another guest that was really into Tyler as well.
Yeah.
Why do I
Was it Rafe?
no, Lydia Rose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's a local artist too, and on our show here we interview local, regional, national, international musicians and music personalities, DJs, roadies, MCs, whatever.
Roadies.
Yeah.
Groupies.
We try to keep the roadies and groupies on the after hour show. But,
yeah, after hours, definitely.
But we've had people from Europe on the show before. I mean,
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But we do have to cut to another commercial break.
Sure.
Now you get to hear the extended sexy Momma T voice.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Keep up to date with the buzz with Momma T and Dwa Brown by joining our community. Visit LilBobbyBuzz.com to find links to our Facebook page and our newsletters. Momma T and Dwa will return shortly on the buzz.
What's up, Red Lake Nation Radio? This is your host, DJ Soko. Come join me if you're Ace or Danelle from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Soko Saturday, where I have a new segment, Soko's Metal Madness Hour from 7 to 8 p.m., bringing the North all the new and classic metal to the masses. The first 3 hours will be the old school hits, the rock and roll classics, and all other genres of music. Even country. So come take a cruise with me, DJ Soko, bringing the fire right here on 105.3 WRLN, Red Lake Nation Radio. Yeah.
This is your concert buzz.
Hey, all you Buzz fans and music lovers out there. Here's Momma T letting you know that Log Jammers is welcoming the 2025 Summer Throwback Party featuring Twista in concert Saturday, July 5th at 6 p.m. with special guest DJ Shine. Tickets are $40 in advance, $100 for a VIP meet and greet. This 21 plus show is presented by Hypothermic Entertainment. Visit Log Jammers on Facebook to get your tickets now. Twista, Saturday, July 5th at 6 p.m. at Log Jammers Bar and Grill, Cass Lake, Minnesota. And if you're a Momma T fan, well, guess what? I will be behind the bar serving you up your favorite drinks. So come on down to Log Jammers in Cass Lake to see Twista and yours truly, Momma T.
So
Yeah.
fun. So
So
fun.
that's so I work at I work the events there. I missed one this month. There was an event this month that I missed, but so that's why we do those commercials, hype up the bar, because they're like actually paying me a little bit of money to actually work there, which is cool. And the last time I was at Log Jammers, DJ Shine was actually there and wanted to hire me to do all his commercials now after he saw that.
So he was the one that told you to do it in that voice?
No, I did that commercial first and then showed it to him.
Oh, okay.
And he watched it and he's looking at me and he's watching and he's looking at me, he's watching it. He's like, so can you do more commercials like this? Well, we'll see. Well, we'll see what's in Momma T's mug later.
That's going to be a hashtag. What's in Mama's mug? Hashtag.
Right. Or a song that's waiting to be written.
That's right.
Country song.
Here, you do it. Hashtag.
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. All right, back to the guests now.
Yeah.
So you grew up in the Texas area?
So I did. Over here in Fort Worth, Texas area. I say grew up. I've got to be honest with it. So I was born in California, and then moved out here before I hit the double digits. Right when I hit the double digits. But I did grow up out here in the Texas area, and I mean, all your later years, your first girlfriend, your first kiss, your first heartbreak, your first accident in your car, or whatever the case is. All that's been out here in Fort Worth, and raised out here in this area. And coincidentally enough, I was actually co-parented by a gentleman, which I found out when actually he passed away, that he was from an area over here called White Settlement, over here in the Texas Fort Worth area. So he was Texas raised, and I was, quote, Texas raised, if you want to really bring that up. So when I was younger, that was. So yes, Fort Worth has been home, and so I call it home, and I think it's always going to be. I got a lot of homes away from homes right now. We've been since we've been doing the music, we've been pulling the trailer and going to Texas state parks all over to this massive state. We're going to be back out in Big Bend, which seems like it seems like a foreign country of its own out there. If y'all have ever been out to the Big Bend area of Texas, I highly recommend it. It's it is the top place for the Dark Skies program throughout the nation. They've actually was able to stop a Dollar General from opening up in there in the city of Terlingua itself. They don't have any supermarkets, no like big gas stations. The homes and everything out there, um, they prevent the light pollution from the area. So it's where stargazers go out there and they do this really big chili cook-off out in October for the Dia de los Muertos and the All Saints Day. It's actually known for being like a ghost town. They have grave sites out there since the very first settlements have been out there in the area. So um, anyways, that's going to be a little spot out there. We'll be out. So I get so excited when I bring it up because I didn't feel like I spent enough time out there the first time we went out there with the family. And now we're going and we're doing the whole, the whole thing, the whole enchilada, what people want to say. If we're now just diving into Lajitas, into Lingua, Alpine, and doing a big road trip for about 3 weeks out there once when all that kicks off. So, yeah, and just Texas is home for me.
And now I know you've got your website and you've got your music on there and links to your music and your upcoming schedule. What does that look like for you right now?
So the big one that's coming up, it'll be 4th of July at a place at Hilltop, the food truck park. That will be a full band show. Doing it's at a little spot just north of Fort Worth area called North Lake. And that'd be great because they do it really big. They said last year there was 4,000 to 5,000 people. They're expected to have almost double that this year. And big fireworks show up there. Just areas for the kids to play, bounce houses and whatnot, and of course, live music for it. We're going to do, I think, a 3 hour. They want us for 3 hours, so it's going to be myself, the full band. A friend of mine who's also another singer songwriter, Richard Duran, will be out there performing with us as well, and I might also have a couple of pop-ins from other local musicians do their thing. So I'm never opposed to put somebody up on stage if they're there. So
oh, that sounds like a blast.
yeah,
So
it's gonna be really cool.
were you always comfortable performing in front of people, or did you have jitters you had to get
Oh
over?
yeah,
Did you deal with
yeah.
that?
Definitely not comfortable performing in front of people. It was again, I've only been doing this about 3 years, but my first experience with it was just at an open mic, a local open mic down the street, and it was a terrible experience. Very, very. It had nothing to really do, I guess, fully on my part. It had to do with just the music industry and how it is. There's just certain people out there that just don't want to see anybody succeed. So, I was kind of heartbroken by it. So then I started doing my own. We started doing open mics and having people come over there. We started calling it Songwriter Social and started diving into. At the time I was already diving into songwriting as well. So I was wanted to meet other musicians in this area that felt the same way I did, and the turnout was just great. So over that, luckily I had that experience with getting with the right artists, and then I started building up my confidence and a great, I guess a full on that way that I was able to kind of highlight and kind of control myself a little bit. But yeah, it was it's just trial and error. That's all it is. And even now, I'll play something, and I know if I don't hit something the right way, and I'll in my head I'm subconsciously like shaking. DeWalt probably knows how it is too. You're like, oh darn it! It's like I hit it all the time in rehearsal. It's like, what happened today? So
What do we always say with the band? We always go, you know what? We noticed it, but everybody else
yeah,
probably did not notice it,
they
and
don't.
they give
Yeah.
us a lot of grace, and they just love it anyway.
Yeah, I just kind of have to swallow it. I'm like, ugh, and I'm just like, okay, we'll just keep going on.
Keep it moving.
And yeah, and afterwards, people are cheering, clapping, or whatever the case is, and they're asking, whose song was that? Who plays that song? Like, oh, yeah. Spoiler alert, it's actually one of my tunes. So it's okay. Like,
Excellent.
I started doing it now, where I've been playing a bunch of local artists, independent artists within this region as well, on my set breaks. And so they're not hearing like a Chris Stapleton tune. They're not hearing like a big Zach Brown, song or anything else. They're hearing all these local guys. And every now and then I'll catch it where somebody is Shazamming, like, on their phones. They're like, who plays this song? And they'll come up, and I've had it. And I know that the other artists are probably having it too. Of course, they're not coming up and being like, oh, that's a Richard Duran song there. They're not bringing that up there. That's a Cassie Fleming tune. It's like, I'm not Cassie Fleming, but it's flattering to know that I'm playing those songs, and within those songs, one of my tunes is in there, and they'll bring it up. It's like, hey, I heard your song during the set break. I didn't know it was you, but I Shazammed it, and it's actually you. I was like, I really like that. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that you looked that up. It's like, so I know that it's working out there. So the artists out there during their set breaks, and they're able to put their music on their phone. Start looking at other artists in the area and say, hey, I would like to put you on a playlist, local playlist, put you up there. And that's, again, that's free advertisement. And then people are out there listening to live music anyway. Why wouldn't, they, like, why wouldn't we want to promote our friends and help them with that stuff? So, yeah.
Absolutely. And Lil Bobby was really good about that. When I turned 21. So I used to sing when I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I had people come up to me years later and say, I remember you doing this solo on this year, blah, blah, blah. And you brought tears to my eyes. You still sing, blah, blah, blah. Right. And so when I turned 21, I decided that I was going to go to a karaoke one night, and I sang No One Else on Earth. And I bombed it. It was really bad. And like, you either get boos or you get claps. I got dead silence. Like,
well,
and
came a
so
long
he
way.
was really good. He was really good about this. And so I swore I would never sing in front of people again and blah, blah, blah. And then my mom passed away while I was with Bobby, and I had been practicing her favorite song, a Norah Jones song, for a couple of years because I was going to sing it to her for her birthday present.
Yeah.
And she passed away a couple weeks before her birthday, and I'm like, well, now I'm just going to have to sing it at her funeral. And Bobby and my sister are like, you're not going to be able to sing at her funeral. You're not going to be able to sing at the funeral. So Bobby stuck me in the studio, gave me a drink, and said, here's the buttons to push, because I know you can't even sing in front of me yet. And here's the buttons to push. Come out when you're done. And he recorded me singing this song, and they played it at the funeral.
Yeah, that's a hard thing for me to bring up too. But yeah, my first 2 actual public gigs were funerals for my grandparents. So it was that's where I got to cut my first just kind of like cut your own teeth, your first thing of it. And it went well, like as well as a funeral can go. But that was where I first started doing that. I definitely didn't want to be known as the guy playing at funerals. So I had that.
I've played a lot of funerals. Let me just say that. And you know what? It's high honor. It's high honor.
Yeah.
But it was great for me to perform for them in their memory and everything else too. So it's something that I hold dear to me. But not to be like that buzzkill. Obviously, I never really like to get up a lot.
You bring the joy. You bring the joy, and you put the fun in
Right.
funeral.
No.
You bring the joy in music. It brings everybody together.
Oh my God. Speaking of bringing the joy and the fun,
you bring joy when you play music at a funeral. We've blasted, and it might be different for everybody, but when we do ceremony, it's for 4 days. 4 days we sit with the person. So we can't sit there and weep the whole time. We're playing cards, we're singing, we're dancing, we're laughing. So it's a little bit different. It's different culture, but that's what we do. And in that time, that gives us time to come closer to each other, which is ultimately what we want to do. And just putting that music out there, it's a healer, man. Doesn't matter when you're doing it or where you're doing it.
Yeah,
we've got 6 minutes left, and you still have a guitar on your lap that you haven't played for us, sir. Do you have any?
Oh goodness, yeah, I can play one. So definitely. This is a song that comes out tomorrow. I wasn't going to play this one, but I can. It's not streamable just yet, but until tomorrow. Tomorrow it does come out. So whoever's listening.
What a treat.
We won't get flagged for it then. If it's not out there yet, we won't get flagged for it.
Because we won't get flagged for it anyway. It's music. How are you going to get flagged for it?
I know that they still flag us, and I have to always dispute it and say it was the actual musician on the show playing their original work. That is why they.
Oh yeah, that's why we come here. That's why we do it. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. So This will be a stripped down version of the song we mentioned earlier. This is one's called Roads Traveled, and it was during that time when I worked for that railroad company, the Holter Services. It was this really turbulent times, a hard time for again my wife and my young son, just our relationship together. But at the same time, I mean, she hates when I bring this up, but it was still a fun time. You get that adrenaline. You're a guy. You're out doing blue collar work, and it was like this sense of urgency to be out there working for a railroad. So we took this one to the studio and did like an Allman Brothers kind of thing out of it. But this is, again, the stripped version of Roads Traveled. Should have been you when I woke up this morning. You know how hard those years had brought them there. Now we're alone in this life so boring. Pack the bags again to leave this town. Away, I have to go away. It's where the money shows its face. Away, won't fix the damage done. It's got to be a way to keep me in my place. The road's been traveled on and on like thoughts on me by hard miles over day. And further from my destination, I'll be headed. In the dust, I know she'll leave me far behind. Away, I have to go again. Away, it's where I never wanna be. Away, won't ever change your thinking, no, about the ways I'll always seem to be. Yeah. Away, I have to go again. Away, it's where I never wanna be. Away, won't ever change your thinking about the ways I'll always seem to be. About the ways I'll always seem to be. Yeah. I'm not the man I know I'm supposed to be.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Again, that's the stripped down version of it. We have a part in the song where we take some guitars and do a dueling guitar battle towards the end, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, so look out for that tomorrow. It'll be on all streaming platforms tomorrow. Check it out, the website from bronsonlewis.com, and it's available there. The whole album's available off of that. So
Awesome, Bronson. Good
Thank
for
you.
you. Very proud of you. Thank you for sharing your love of music with us and your artistry and stories about how you're coming up here.
Well, thank you for having me. I mean, it's been fun talking with y'all. I mean, I always like to have a little venue and chit chat about music. So,
And
and so
whoever it
thank
was
you.
that referred you to us, tell them thank you. I would like to say thank you, but you didn't tell me who it was. But yeah, same
Who
thing.
was what?
You had mentioned in your original email to me that somebody had told you to check out the podcast, that you would be an awesome fit.
Yeah, I'll get with my man. I don't know who it was. I haven't even asked it. I've been so busy lately. It was, It's just an opportunity. I can't remember who it was, but I need to figure it out. So,
Yeah, because they need
yeah.
a big thanks because you're awesome. You're great. I'm so glad you were on with us tonight. Thank you for all our viewers tonight. Your mom-in-law, and I'm glad you guys got a great relationship with her.
Send stars, help fill Momma T's cup.
Yeah, there you go. Do it. Fill the mug. Hashtag Mama's
I'm
mug.
living vicariously through Momma T. So
Well, I might have to start. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to close. So you know what?
Thanks, Brad.
I don't think I've got anyone scheduled for next week.
Be careful out there. I know you'll have something great lined up. We've got a little bit of time. We're going to get through these storms. Everybody, if you can, please help your local storm shelters, food pantries, Bemidji, Minnesota, Cass Lake, Minnesota Food Shelf could all use your help at this time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I love you, Momma T. See you on the road, Bronson.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
See you guys next week.
Why?
Today's episode is sponsored in part by Grand Forks Best Source. They're a cutting-edge local media broadcasting studio with captivating shows, on-location event coverage, and unparalleled advertising opportunities. Grand Forks Best Source has become a haven for podcasters like me seeking to bring their visions alive. If you're a podcaster looking for studio or platform, or a local business seeking to advertise, go ahead and email Paul at local@gfbestsource.com. You can call him at 701-740-9337, or you can go to their website that's listed on your screen there, gfbestsource.com. Tell them Momma T sent you.